Hi everybody! So I wanted to talk to you about the difference between simple and compound time. The only difference between simple and compound time, remember this, the only difference has to do with the subdivision of the beat itself, the subdivision of the beat. So remember how we split the beat up? If the beat is here, split in half like this. This would be in simple time, because we have the subdivision of two groups. Teet, 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 teet. But what if we were to have three sounds on one beat? So here's our beat, and we want to make three even sounds. That's the only difference between simple and compound time. Here are the time signatures associated with those. The first one is 4/4. You've got 4 beats in a measure, and the quarter note gets a beat. So here's a measure in simple quadruple if I'm conducting and we're playing eighth notes. Tut 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 tut. That's simple quadruple. There are 4 beats in the measure. Next, 3 beats in a measure. Simple triple, because triple means 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 beats in the measure. The quarter note still gets the beat. So 1, 2, 3. Tee, 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 tee. The next one is simple duple. 1, 2. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. There are 2 beats in a measure, and the quarter note gets a beat. We call them simple because we're splitting the beat just in half. Now, with compound time, we split that beat, the beat unit that we're grouping it and feeling it by. That splits into 3 instead of 2. That's the only difference. And the other thing that I noticed is that we call the grouping quadruple here, referring to these dotted quarters, which represent the full group of 3 eighth notes. Whereas in simple time, we're grouping it by the beat itself. So that can be a little bit confusing, but just remember that always the bottom number tells you which type of note gets the beat. So I see an 8. Okay, I know eighth note must get the beat. Up here, that tells you how many beats are in a measure. I see a 12. There must be 12 eighth notes in a measure. We don't have 12 eighth notes here because it's quadruple. We're grouping those 12 eighth notes into a group of 4. So the difference between simple quadruple, if you're in simple quadruple, here's your measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tut, 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 tut. In compound, it would be tut, 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 tut. That's the only difference. Compound quadruple. So next we have compound triple. How many beats in a measure? That's what the top number tells us, 9. Which note gets the beat? Eighth note. And we're grouping it into a group of 3 triple. So we have to split our 9 eighth notes into groups of 3. Tut, 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 tut. So it's just like 3/4. 3/4 in simple. Tut, 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 tut. Now let's do compound 9/8. Tut, 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 tut. That's 9/8 versus 3/4. They're very similar. So the last one is compound duple, because we have a grouping of 2 dotted quarter, and that represents, again, the dotted quarter represents the grouping of the 3 eighth notes. That's how our beat is split. Da, 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 da. Compound duple. This is 6/8. So the difference between simple duple and 6/8 compound duple is this. Simple would be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and compound 6/8 would be da, 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's the difference between simple and compound time.